Hi, I'm Shannon Rollins with Shannon Rollins Real Estate. Are you preparing your house to put on the market? If you're preparing your house to put on the market, I've got a couple tips for you. If you are preparing your house and there's some things in your house you love, but you know they're dated, you might need to go ahead and remove them or replace them. Here's a couple examples. If I were putting my house on the market, I have a room that is painted a blonde color. People do not like that paint color typically, and you know because you go into open houses of new construction, you can see what people are liking because that's what builders are building. So I probably should paint that. You can never go wrong with a white dove color. It's Benjamin Moore. It goes well with white trim, and it's a light neutral color that appeals to just about everybody. If you have wallpaper in your house, that is another thing you might want to go ahead and have removed or painted over. I've got an example of a client who their house is an $800,000 house and they had it listed for a year with another company. And when they called me in to take over the listing, I said, you really need to get rid of this wallpaper that's in your dining room and the powder room. They did not want to. They love that paper. So we listed the house. A couple months into it, they're like, Shannon, what do we need to do? And I said, we need to get rid of that wallpaper like we talked about from the get-go. They didn't want to take it down off the walls because they weren't quite sure how the walls were prepared for the wallpaper. So we brought in the painter, they cut and mudded the seams, painted right over it. Within a week, we had a contract on the house. Buyers look at photos online, and when they're looking at photos online, they're trying to determine if they want to even go visit that house. If you come out of the chute with stuff that's outdated, a buyer may never go back and revisit the house. They may never come to the house, period. And if you change it down the road, they may not even know it. So try to do everything right from the get-go. Another example I see a lot is people update their master bathroom, but they don't update the spare bathroom. If you have something in your spare bathroom like outdated poles on your vanity, that is a really easy thing to change. Or an outdated light fixture over the mirror, another easy thing to change, and that goes a long way to making your house look more current. Now, if you have a lot of stuff in your house, or you have a lot of rugs on the floor, or you got a lot of knickknacks on the countertop, you might need to pare things down. In the photos, things don't show quite as well as they do in person, and a buyer, again, is trying to decide if they even want to see your house based off of photos. So a lot of times less is better in the home for photos. If you have a kitchen with a beautiful backsplash, don't have as much stuff on your countertops. If you have beautiful hardwood floors, remove those rugs and show them off in the photos. If you have a lot of knickknacks over your fireplace, you might want to pare that down as well so you can focus in on the fact that you actually have a fireplace in the photos. Now, one last tip. If you have out front big, huge shrubs that are overgrown, and you know if you trim them back, they're going to be brown spots because you're removing all the green, well, you might want to yank out some of those shrubs and just put in some smaller, younger shrubs. This makes the house from the exterior look much more inviting and fresh. I hope those tips are helpful. And if you're thinking about listing your house and need some advice, my team and I are on standby 7 days a week, ready to help you take the smoother road to sold.